Watches for men. There was a memorial time when the first wristwatches has a more practical use than the one they have today. With different sizes for either gentlemen or ladies, the precious pieces helped their owners to organize their time while they were on a trip or at casual outdoor activities. As the time passed, the wristwatches became more than a practical way of keeping time, turning into valuable pieces of jewelry since the technology existing today allows us to find what time is it from various sources. Even if new trends are set every day in almost every field, and there were times when men's watches passed just fine as ladies' watches, there will always be a different approach for the two sexes. There's also a powerful struggle to the market between the analog wristwatches and the digital ones. The choice is usually made by each individual's choice and preferences, but there is always a segment that judge watches by price or by technical abilities. You can easily group the watches in more than the general categories we talk about. There are the cheap but accurate wristwatches that are only meant for timekeeping purposes, practical men's watches. There is a jewelry category that includes very expensive pieces made out of precious metals with jewel decorations, typically ladies' watches. Furthermore, as far as expensive watches are concerned, the ones that have very small but precise mechanical parts, ladies' watches. Last, but definitely not the least, the watches that form a totally unique category are the new age or futuristic rich watches that do so much more than the simple task of measuring the time. They usually have incorporated miniature computers, video games, GPS, and even digital cameras, men's watches. Here we can see a different approach when it comes to men's watches and another one when it comes to ladies' watches. Young men are usually keen on buying the latest thing in technology or the classy and impressive ones as maturity strikes in. When it comes to ladies' watches, there are also differences between generation choices. However, there is a rather general and permanent trend, namely that of ladies usually preferring small-sized, fashionable wristwatches. The fact is that despite the cellular phone invasion, phones that have timekeeping as an included feature with various additional tasks like alarm or planning, the wristwatch has always be a part of our lives. There is no surprise at all to see that sometimes the old things become so much more valuable than they used to be at their time in their time. There will always be men's watches and ladies' watches, the futuristic version of them, with abilities limited only by the imagination of their creators, as well as the classy old-fashioned watches with their major timekeeping abilities. So in case you are prepared to make an investment that will very likely last several lifetimes, stop wasting time and use the internet to find the best offer there is on the piece you want. There are specialized websites that group together the most important brands of both men's watches and ladies' watches, so you choose can be a fairly varied one either for yourself or as a present.